For the first time in any major triathlon championships, there are qualifying races at this year's European Championships in Vuokatti, Finland. The bike was extremely tough and the multi-lap course was very spectator-friendly, if not too friendly towards the triathletes. Another first was a team time trial, but after 4 days of competition, there was no doubt that these championships were the best yet. Hello everybody, I'm Ian Sweet and welcome to Vuokatti. We're some 250 kilometers north of Helsinki for the 13th European Triathlon Championships. So now we've got the men's final. They've had 2 qualifying rounds to get here, or 2 qualifying heats should I say, and the first 20 in each heat and then the fastest 10 after that qualified for the 50-man final. Exactly the same course as the women. We've seen it's a really tough course and I think it's going to be just as tough for these men. 1500 meter swim, 2 laps of 750 kilometers in the Sakinen Lake. And straight away it looks as though it's the Dutch athlete Luc Hunjons is taking the lead. Look out for some of the coloured caps, the seeded athletes. Van der Linden wears royal blue. Fedor Filipa of Russia is in red. Dark green is Frank Bignet. And in pink, right in the middle there, going straight into the buoy, crash is Martin Kranovec from the Czech Republic. Purple is Sergei Piotrkowski from Russia. The royal blue right through there, that's Van der Linden, currently ranked, 4th on the European Cup at the moment. Dark green is Frank Bignet. Just to catch up on some of the other results, we had the age group in the Masters. Brian Tate won a bronze for Great Britain in the 50 to 54 category. Peter Howard took a silver in the 60 to 64. Margaret Sills the bronze in the 45 to 49. And Kearney of Ireland took gold in the 50 to 54 for the women, with Eva Campbell of Scotland the silver in the 50 to 54 category. So that was good results for the Masters age groupers. I'll give you a few of the junior results hopefully in a few minutes. But still Hunjons, the Dutchman, finished 43rd in the European Championships back in 1995 and 15th last year in Szombathely in Hungary. That year he was 52nd in the Worlds. So this is the chase pack of Kranovec, Jochen Willen from Sweden and Thomas Kocher from the Czech Republic, but it's still Luc Hunjons who's in that lead pack with Willen here, the Swedish athlete, ex-national swimmer for Sweden. He finished 3rd in the European Cup back in 1995. So they're coming up towards the 750 meter turn point and then they've got to do it all again. That's Kranovec in pink. Let's see, 6th on the current European standing. Surprisingly, the #1 athlete, Emmanuel Dubuis of France, he didn't get through the qualifying, as neither did Alexander Merzlov of Russia, the 7th ranked athlete. So that was a little surprise. But one thing is certain, the swim has equalized it because just about everyone are a similar standard. So we don't know people hanging on and losing contact with the leaders. They're just about all together, as you can see. Spencer Smith of Great Britain in the middle, and it looks as though someone's undone his wetsuit, so he's swimming with a wetsuit full of water. That's pretty slow, but that won't worry Smudger Smith too much. So they're on lap 2 now, and it's Thomas Kocher, the 32-year-old from Brno in the Czech Republic. This is his last major race. He's been around quite a while as Kocher. In fact, for those of you who have a swimming background, you know that in 1998 in the Olympic Games in Seoul, he made the final of the 200-meter freestyle. Well, he's certainly showing that prowess now, isn't he? Look at this, there's a real battle going on behind. And in green was Bignet and pink Hranovic. They get pushed wide. orange, that's Petteri Kosonen from Finland, the #1 Finnish athlete. Henry Hollander is also in there from Finland, if I recall, but at the moment it's Kosonen. So lap 2, it was Thomas Kocher who dragged them round. Behind, we had the likes of Hunjas, Villen, Francesco Marco from Spain was in there, as was Garrett McCarthy of Ireland. Good to see Garrett racing for Ireland. Of course, he raced for America in, 89, then turned his allegiance to Ireland because his grandmother is Ireland. I think from about 1991 onwards, he's been racing for Ireland. But this is the first time he's raced in the European Championships. He went over to Ireland for a couple of races to qualify and made the Irish team, not surprisingly. So this is our leader, Thomas Kocher, coming up toward the end of the 1500-meter swim. It'll be interesting to see what time he does compared with Nina Anisimova. So he's out in 18:28. Well, there you are. Anisimova swam 18:38, just 10 seconds slower. So that really does show you how strong these women are in the water. And there's a huge gaggle of men coming out together here, aren't there? See if we can pick up some of them as they come through. So it looks as though Villen is out, as is Hunchas. 1 and 2 there. And that chasing pack. Green is Frank Binet, pink is Eric van der Linden, or Martin Kranovic rather, the pink cap of the Czech athlete. Royal blue is van der Linden. So this is Kocher now, making his long way up, and it's about a 350 run up through. This is Villen behind. Right on the right of that lead group as they're coming into us is Spencer Smith, wearing number 36. This is Marco on the front. Arndt Schomburg is there. That's Garrett McCarthy with the white top, IRL, that means Ireland. This is Ralph Eggert, just gone through there in the red top of Germany. So 2 Germans up there. As Kocher now picks up his bike, gets on his bike, and off he goes. Nearest the picture is Fedor Filipov. I thought he would have swum a little quicker. Eric van der Linden right beside him. There's the Finnish athlete coming through, Kossinen. As Kocher now runs out across the transition area, which of course is also the Finnish arena. Now he's got to jump on his bike for 40 kilometers, and look at that pack behind. What a great pack this is. I think we're going to have one heck of a bike ride here. It's going to be very, very competitive, I would think. Got some great bikers in there. It'll be interesting to see the tactics. Certainly on in the 2 qualifying heats, we saw that no one was really willing to take up the pace. All they were worried about was the final run, and it was a bit of a dash for cash at the end. But this is Kocher going through now, getting his feet in the pedals, or in his bike shoes. There's the big man, Spencer Smith, right in the middle. Garrett McCarthy on his right, our left, Arndt Schomburg in the middle. Looks like Marcus Keller is there. There's Eric van der Linden just going through. Kranovic has just gone through the picture. Gosselink from Holland. But at the moment, it's Thomas Kocher who's still leading. He's led for, what, the second 750-meter swim. And now he's leading on the first of the 4 10-kilometer laps as they head out towards that big climb. And I must admit, I think this feature of the climb has really made these championships. It really has made it extremely, extremely tough. But you can see the pack now are rolling along quite nicely. They're reeling in the Czech athlete, and it looks as though someone's gone to chase him. It's Eric van der Linden, the Dutch athlete, is chasing him. So van der Linden, the 27-year-old from Schagen in Holland, physiotherapist by profession, has now gone to the fore. Coach has been, well, he's going to be sucked up by that pack in a very few seconds. They're really going along here at quite a lick. I would think they must be going along at 40 kilometers an hour on that flat section. But it's van der Linden, the Dutchman, 4th on the ETU rankings last year, and this year he's lying 4th at the moment. So here he is, he's on the climb. This is where it's about 7%, really is tough. So that's van der Linden gone through the picture, and it looks as though Nico Flanos from Spain is in 2nd position. Bit of an unknown quantity. This is Eggert on the left of the picture. Where's number 31? And right beside him, the big man from Great Britain, Spencer Smith. Last won this title back in 1992. And of course, in what? He also won the Worlds in 92 and, or should I say 93, in Great Britain in Manchester. And then he defended his title successfully in Wellington, New Zealand. So it's good to see him here. A couple of years ago in Sweden, in Stockholm, when we had a bit of a disaster, he vowed never to race again. But at any rate, he's here because he knows that the first 3 here, any regional championship, gain automatic selection automatic qualifying for the World Championships in Perth that take place later in this year in November. But I don't know if Smith will be there because he's going to race the Ironman. So it's Van der Linden. Now he's pulling away. What, he's got 50, 60, perhaps 100 meters on this group. There's Smith on the right. Right in the middle is the German Ralf Egert. On the left of the picture is the Spaniard Klanos. Right in the middle with his head stuck, his hat stuck on his back, his aunt Schomburg. There's Frank Bignet in the blue. The French athlete has done so well, won that opening round in the European Cup in La Grande Motte. It looks like Christophe Mauch is in the back end of the picture there. We've got Kranovic on the right. Matula from the Czech Republic's also in there. Oh, they're just about all there, aren't they? Apart from, there's Garrett McCarthy tucked right in the middle with the orange cap on. He's not finding this too easy, is he? He's not finding it at all. There's Vukovic right on the back, and number 22 is Roger Fischling from the Swiss team. So here we are. We're coming up towards 4.5 kilometers of the climb. Well, it's a 2.5 kilometer climb, but 4.5 kilometers into the first lap of 10 kilometers, and it's Eric van der Linden, and he's built up quite a lead. He's what, got about 40 seconds, 45 seconds on that chase pack. And he's going to have the best ride down because he's going to have a clear road in front of him. Doesn't have to worry about the pack. So it's going to be pretty safe for him. I don't know about that pack going down because they're going to be doing about 80 kilometers per hour, 50 miles an hour as they go down this stretch. There's Van der Linden going through at 65, so he's not going too quickly. The women were going down that just as quick, but of course Van der Linden's not a heavyweight. He's a bit of a lightweight. He's very long and lean and doesn't carry much weight. So the big boys like Smith, with the weight, and Vukovic, the likes of them will really be going like bat out of hell down this descent. So there we are. There's Egert on the front, Smith's right behind him, Matula's in there, a couple of Dutch athletes. Vukovic is on the back, number 44. That's Andreas Reilert from the German team. Strong German team here. They've been concentrating on the World Cup. Most of them raced last weekend in the ITU World Cup in Monaco. There's Smith in what, third or so, fourth position of the pack, as they know. Zoom their way down once they're on the wall. There's a bit of a twitch there, wasn't there? Who was that between Egert and Smith? Well, they stayed on the bikes, fortunately. Perhaps a lesser athlete would have come off. So that looks like Garrett McCarthy's right on the back of that pack, so he's losing touch straight away. They're coming down to the bottom now. And Van der Linden still leads, and it looks as though I think it's the Spanish athlete Klanos has caught him. So now they've got the 2.5 kilometer track back to Vuokatti, then they turn around and do it all again, about another 3 times. This is Van der Linden, the leader. He's up out of his saddle because they're right into a strong headwind. Number 2, but he's 4th on the European Series at the moment. So as he heads back, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll see who wins. Welcome back to the European Championships for triathlon in Vuokatti, Finland. We're in the men's elite final and still leading. He's led throughout lap 1 is Eric van der Linden from Holland, and this is the pack rolling quite nicely behind, with that's Egert on the right of the picture. On the front end is Spencer Smith, and right at the back is it looks like Martin Matula from the Czech Republic, and Martin Kranovic right in the middle there. So during lap 2, Van der Linden kicked on, maintained that rhythm, maintained that pace, and maintained his lead over the chasing pack, who started to close down on him just a little bit. The likes of Egert, Matula and Smith, they didn't want to let the Dutchman get too far away. So as Van der Linden heads back now on lap 3, just towards the end of lap 2. Let's have a quick look at him. The 24-year-old from Schlagen in Holland, physiotherapist by profession. He loves walking, and he's swimming background, but he still loves swimming, which puts him into contention, puts him into the position to do the business on the bike and then the run, which he's doing at the moment. Certainly van der Linden is showing them how to do it. In 1996 he finished 4th overall in the European Cup race, but on lap 3 he was gobbled up by the pack. You just see him towards the left of the picture there with a red helmet on, and it was the Frenchman Frank Bignet who took it on with the Spaniard Erica Flanos. But then on lap 4 Eric van der Linden decided to go again, and on the climb he once again showed what a great climber he is. He doesn't really have the stature of being a great climber, but he certainly can crank out that gear up over. Look at the difference. There's Smith on the left, grinding his way up the hill. Look at the power, the brute force of ignorance, perhaps, of the British athlete as he powers his way up there. Well, he's not ignorant, is he? He really is one of the great athletes of the sport. Some would say he's a little, perhaps he's a little foolish trying the Ironman so quickly in his professional career, though. He does it this year, and I understand he's got a 5-year contract that takes him up to the year 2001. So there's van der Linden goes through. Smith is in 2nd place. That's Marcus Keller from Switzerland on the right of the picture. Eggert's in there, as he has been just about all the time with Smith. Frank Bignet's just behind him. Guido Gosselink and Erica Thanos is also in that pack. So here we are, there they are going down through. You saw the time of van der Linden, and these boys are going a little quicker, aren't they? They really are. I don't know who that is. Looks like Ralph Eggert strapped right over his bars. They're really going for it. Smith just depends upon his weight going down through. Martin Matula and Kranovic, the Czech pair, also going along quite nicely, as is Stefan Hachel from Germany. So we've got 3 Germans in that group: Vukovic, Hachel and Rolf Egger. You can see some of the slower athletes still on the way up. But this is van der Linden now. He's only got just over a kilometre or so to go. He's on 8.8 kilometres coming back, so that's 1.2 kilometres to the turn, and it looks as though Vukovic is starting to chase him down there. But Smith is still on the front of the pack. I think he's playing a waiting game here as Smith. Eggert right in the middle. These are some of the better runners in the sport, and they're the ones who'll be looking to see what's going to happen later. 34 is Jose Barbanet, also a great runner. 44, that's Andreas Rennert from Germany. So they're now coming back into the bike park for the final time, and it's 38, and Nico Klanas on the front end, finished 34th in the Grand Mott opening race on the ETU Triathlon Cup this year. Right behind him is Guido Gosselink, his best place in 94 when he finished 33rd in the world. Last year he was 41st in these championships, so he's certainly racing above himself at the moment. That's Klanos and Gosselink leading. There's Christoph Mauk right behind them. Coming through, Eggert, Eric van der Linden, Frank Bignet. There's the Finnish athlete. But this is Klanos now going through. He's first through the transition area. 106.59 is his bike split, so that's not a bad performance by him. Just about one of the quickest. Vukovic went 106.57 as opposed to Spencer Smith 107.19. You see, the better swimmer doesn't have to work quite so hard on the bike. So this is Klanos going out. There's Vukovic, Gosselink beside him, Matula, Eggert, Keller, Schomburg, Smith, Mauk, Bignet, Hogag, and there's Willem, the Swedish athlete rather. There's Eric van der Linden. So all that work didn't do him much good, did it? 23 is Xavier Lobe from Spain. Now they've got this roller coaster little jaunt through the woods on the chipping trails. You can see the chipping trails. This is a cross-country ski trail in the winter, and it's the big man. It's Smith with Eggert, Vukovic, Klanos, Matula, Raula, Keller, and Gosselink is starting to struggle. And this is Barbany coming through, Jose Barbany. Frank Bignet's back here with Villain, the Swedish athlete. But it looks as though that lead group now is down to 4 with Smith, Eggert, Matula, and, well, I don't know what Vukovic is doing running across that stony surface. That could have been quite treacherous. But it's Smith. The British exile now lives in Carlsbad, California. Just bought a little property down in Spain. He said, he was telling me he wanted somewhere to spend his time when he's over here racing in Europe. The 24-year-old man from Hounslow, Middlesex, coached by Bill Black. Bill Black, in fact, is a volleyball coach, or he's better known as a volleyball coach, but he certainly did the business with this man. Back in 1991 and 1990, Spencer was the European Youth Champion, went on to win 2 gold medals at the senior level in 93 and 94. And with the other Brit, Simon Lessing, they really have dominated the last 5 years. In fact, they're the only people who've won gold medals, world gold medals. This is Marcus Culler coming through. He's down in 8th position. Bigne, Schomburg, Petteri Kosonen, and this is the other group with Villen on the front end. There's Eric van der Linden going through. Here's Bigne with Schomburg. And there's the top Finnish athlete at the moment. Where's number 5? Petteri Kosonen. But it's still Smith and Vukovic. Well, the lead group of 4 is down to 2. Eggert and Matula have been blown out the back end by these two. And look at the big boy. He really is surging. He's putting on the pressure. Look at that. Look at that strength, the power. He's built like a weightlifter. But I can tell you, he's lost some weight because he's been training for the Ironman all that